Imagine this. You're lying in your bed. It's a normal morning. Your alarm rings. You reach for your phone. But before you can grab it, everything around you suddenly goes black. A strange flash of light surrounds you. For a few seconds, you can't see anything, you can't hear anything. Then, silence. You slowly open your eyes. Your bedroom is gone. Your house is gone. Your city has completely disappeared. Instead of roads, you see endless forests. Instead of cars, there are giant animals wandering across open fields. The air smells cleaner than anything you've ever experienced. There are no airplanes in the sky, no power lines, no buildings, no people, just nature. Congratulations. You've just traveled back 12,000 years to 10,000 BC. At first, you might think this is amazing. No homework, no school, no traffic, no bills, no annoying phone notifications. It almost feels like a vacation. But then, your stomach growls, and reality hits you. Because your biggest problem isn't getting back home. It's surviving the next 24 hours. Let's start with something simple. Breakfast. Every morning you probably eat cereal, toast, eggs, or maybe order something online. But here, none of that exists. There are no farms, no grocery stores, no refrigerators, no restaurants, no fast food. If you want breakfast, you have to earn it. You walk through the forest hoping to find fruit. After an hour, you finally discover a bush covered in berries. Jackpot. But wait, are they safe or are they poisonous? The scary part is, they look exactly the same. One handful could fill your stomach, the next could end your life. Modern humans have Google, ancient humans had experience, and right now, you have neither. So maybe berries aren't the best idea. You decide to hunt instead. Sounds easy, right? Until you remember. You don't have a gun, you don't have a knife, you don't even have a fishing rod. The only thing you have are your bare hands. Good luck catching a rabbit. Even if you somehow manage to find food, there's another problem. Cooking it. Today, you simply turn on your stove or microwave your meal. But in 10,000 BC, fire isn't just useful, it's the difference between life and death. Without fire, you can't cook meat, you can't stay warm, you can't scare away dangerous animals, you can't even see once the sun goes down. So, how do you make fire? No lighter, no matches, no gas. Would you know how to create flames using only sticks, dry grass, and a few rocks? Most people wouldn't. That means your first night could be spent freezing in complete darkness. And darkness back then was terrifying, because you're not alone. Somewhere nearby, a pack of wolves is hunting. A giant bear is searching for food. Wild boars are roaming the forest. Back then, humans weren't at the top of the food chain. Sometimes, humans were the food. As the sun begins to disappear behind the mountains, you suddenly hear branches snapping. Something is moving. Slowly. Quietly. Your heart starts racing. You don't know if it's a deer or something much worse. Without a weapon, without fire, without a shelter, you're completely defenseless. Speaking of shelter, where exactly are you planning to sleep? You can't check into a hotel. You can't pitch a modern camping tent. Sleeping under a tree sounds relaxing until it starts raining, or a hungry animal decides to investigate. Ancient humans solved this problem by living together. They built simple shelters using wood, branches, leaves, mud, and animal skins. They worked as tribes, not because they wanted to, but because they had to. A single person rarely survived alone. A tribe meant protection, more hunters, more eyes watching for danger, more chances to stay alive. Now imagine you've somehow survived your first night. Morning arrives, you're thirsty. Finally, you find a crystal clear river. The water looks fresh, cold, perfect. You kneel down and drink. Huge mistake. Just because water looks clean doesn't mean it is. Tiny bacteria and parasites invisible to your eyes could make you dangerously ill. Today, doctors would help, Medicine would help. Hospitals would help. In 10,000 BC, none of those things existed. Even a simple infection from a small cut could become deadly. One tiny scratch could be the end. It's hard to imagine today. But ancient humans faced these dangers every single day. And yet, they survived. Not because they were lucky, because they were incredibly smart. They understood nature better than most people today. They could identify hundreds of plants. They knew which berries healed wounds, which roots cured sickness, and which mushrooms should never be touched. They could follow tiny footprints through mud and know exactly what animal had passed by. Hours earlier, they could predict weather by watching the sky. They knew where rivers flooded, where animals migrated, when fruits ripened. Nature wasn't their enemy, it was their classroom. As months passed, you'd slowly stop thinking like a modern person. You'd stop looking for Wi-Fi, stop missing television, stop worrying about social media. Instead, you'd wake up every morning asking one simple question: can I survive today? Eventually, you'd learn how to shape sharp stones into tools, how to throw a spear, how to build fires in minutes, how to make clothing from animal hides, how to work with your tribe instead of depending on technology. And then, you'd witness one of the greatest turning points in human history. Instead of wandering from place to place hunting animals, some people began planting seeds. At first, it seemed like a small idea, but it changed everything. People no longer had to chase food. They could grow it. Villages appeared, then larger settlements. Families stayed in one place. Animals became domesticated. Food became more reliable. And for the very first time, human civilization began to take shape. Every city you've ever visited, every road, every school, every hospital, every skyscraper can trace its origins back to this moment. A few people planting seeds. Over 12,000 years ago, it's easy to think the people of 10,000 BC had simple lives, but in reality, they were some of the toughest humans to ever live. Every sunrise was a challenge. Every meal had to be earned. Every night survived was another victory. So here's the real question. If you woke up tomorrow in 10,000 BC, with nothing except the clothes you're wearing right now, no phone, no food, no tools, no modern knowledge except what's already in your head, how long would you survive? 1 day, 1 week, 1 month? Or would history remember you as the shortest-lived time traveler ever? Think about it, because surviving the past might be much harder than surviving the future.